Welcome back to another episode of Living in Gallatin, and we are out profiling another business here in downtown Gallatin. I'm here with Dr. Brandi Sloane with Wild Bloom Chiropractic. Brandi, thanks for having us today.
Thanks for having me.
We are thrilled to be here. We're going to learn a little bit about Dr. Sloane's business here and what makes her unique in the community, so stay tuned for more. All right, you guys are going to get the pleasure of checking out Dr. Brandi's space here. Super unique. Love these brick walls. I'm being a real estate guy, nerding out in here over just her space. You have a beautiful office here. It's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a hidden gem near the Gallatin Square, and I got really lucky to find this. As everyone knows, commercial real estate is really hard to find around here, so I got connected with the right people and got to be in this beautiful space.
Love it. Relationships making the world go around here in Gallatin.
Yes.
So how long have you been in the space? Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so I signed my lease in April, and I opened here on May 8th. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty new into this space. Been here for about 2.5 months, and I love every bit of it.
Love it. It seems like you're off to a great start, just from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I've grown a little bit every single month, every single week, seeing a lot of families and kids in the office, and getting that word out there of chiropractic care.
That's great. I want to talk a little bit more about that here in a second with what makes you unique, because I think there's some cool things that we can talk about in there. But let's take a step back. Just help people get to know you a little bit. We were talking off camera. What brought you and your husband to Gallatin? Because this is just kind of out of thin air, right? You kind of showed up here in Gallatin. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I went to school in Kansas City, and while we were in school, we were looking around. We literally pulled out a map, and we were like, where do we see ourselves living? He's from Australia, I'm from Oklahoma, and we didn't want to go to either of those places. So we picked Tennessee based off of both of our careers and where we see ourselves thriving. So we traveled around Nashville and found this hidden gem up here and totally fell in love.
It's getting to be not so hidden anymore. I'm hearing that over and over again, but hey, we're here, we found it.
Yes.
That's awesome. What's your husband's name?
His name's Hayden.
Hayden, hey, we appreciate your service. He is a police officer in these parts, so we want to say thank you for your service. We sure appreciate that, and you as well, because that's a team effort.
Yes,
I'm
it
sure.
is, yes.
Now that we know a little bit about why Gallatin, why chiropractic in Gallatin?
Yeah, so whenever I was in school, I was doing some research with my specific niche that I'm in. So
Okay.
I do prenatal and pediatric chiropractic care. And so whenever I was looking around the area, I saw there's a lot of great chiropractic options here, but I didn't see a lot of prenatal pediatric chiropractic. So that led me to look into Gallatin, and I got my license in Tennessee back in January. So I opened here in May, and I started doing mobile care. I got connected with a lot of pediatric and prenatal providers in the area, just started building my marketing brand around here in town, and fell in love with it. And so whenever I landed this space here, it just kept growing from there.
That's awesome. So how are you, speaking of this space, how are you liking just kind of being in the middle of downtown Gallatin here? I mean, where you're talking about how much we both love the community.
Yeah, I love it so much. I have the farmer's market right down the street. I have the police station right across the street. Got BYH and all the shops on the square. So when I'm on my lunch break, I'll just pop around to all the shops and shop around and chat with people. So I love the social aspect of being here too. Also, my patients like it. They'll pop in here and they're like, oh, we're gonna go over to BYH for lunch. And it causes them to come out here too and shop around town.
Yeah, BYH is super popular in Gallatin right now. So if you can find BYH, you can find Dr. Brandi.
Yes.
Well, so talking about some of your specialties, I think you got some pretty cool space in here that we can go show off.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a fun little kids area, so all the kiddos can come hang out and play while parent gets adjusted, and they can get adjusted on the kids table too. So yeah, let's check it out.
Awesome, let's go check it out. All right, Dr. Brandi, so we are here in my personal favorite. I don't know if I might be too old to play in the TP and stuff here, but from just listening to you talk, it sounds like you've got a couple, I mean, you can help a lot of people, but a couple specialties do you have? Safe to say pediatric and prenatal care?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
So I am a family-oriented chiropractor. So I like to see whole families, but I do have some specialties in prenatal and pediatric care. I like to see anyone from days old to years old. So I see little babies in the office, work on them. I also see pregnant women, postpartum women, and I even see the men too. But pediatric care is really passionate to me because I've done some extra training in it through the ICPA, and see babies and help them with colic, constipation, latching issues, body tension, sleep irregularities, things like that. So that is a really cool niche that I like to reside in. Also prenatal care, because in pregnancy, your posture is constantly changing, you're growing a life, so you can't help if you have any low back pain with that. So I'm actually certified in the Webster technique. The Webster technique is specific to pregnant women, and it helps with all the soft tissues and ligaments in the area of the pelvis and making sure your body is prepped for birth.
That is a mouthful. Did you go to school for that?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I mean, who cannot, I mean, having babies in here has to be a pretty cool part of your job. I mean, who can't be happy whenever there's babies around?
Oh, I know. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And even though I'm right by the police station and the fire department, there's sirens going on and they sleep right through it.
Well, talk to us a little bit more about the other space that you have here and kind of what each one is for.
Yeah, so as I said, I see babies, I also see young kids. So here is our kids' adjusting table. They love laying down on the koala and getting their adjustment. They love playing with my toys here. So my kids' area is Australian themed. It's really close to my heart since my husband is from Australia, and there's some fun animals involved too. So everyone's personal favorite is the koala, and my personal favorite is probably this one. It's so funny. So it looks like a groundhog, right? But it's actually called a quokka. So I love telling kids about this and educating them a little bit about Australia. And then we have our kids' teepee. They get to play and hang out. They have some books that they can read if they like, play with the stuffed animals. And then we have our kids' Chiro clicker. So this is a tool that I actually use on adults, and they make it in a kids version. So I always tell them to adjust all the animals and get involved too if they want to adjust their parents. Yeah.
That's neat. Looks like a little syringe though.
It does. It looks like you're giving someone a shot.
Yeah.
But it's called an activator, and I can show you the adult version of that too.
Oh, it's a fun way to make kids familiar kind of with chiropractic care and whatnot. Maybe they're not quite so afraid when they get to have some fun with it.
Exactly,
That's
exactly. And then I'm going to walk you over here. So I'm going to show you my pregnancy pillows. So what's really cool about getting adjusted here in the office is you get to lay on your belly. You're told during pregnancy that you cannot lay on your belly, but with these pillows, there is a hole cut out depending on what trimester you're in. So this is for second trimester, first trimester, and then third trimester. You can lay on both of the pillows. So you'll lay face down, get a nice adjustment. I use this drop table here as well to get the adjustment in the sacrum and the pelvis. So that is a really cool feature.
Yeah.
And then babies can also get adjusted in these pillows. They snuggle up really well.
Okay. I need a pillow like that to snuggle up in.
It is really comfortable.
Do you have any, not to put you on the spot, but do you have any like success stories from anybody that's come in here with maybe something they've been dealing with on an ongoing basis? You're able to help them out without naming names or anything like that, of course?
Yeah, absolutely. So specifically recently, I've had a mom. I've been seeing her since early in her pregnancy, and she has been getting chiropractic care. And her baby has been breech and transverse, and baby needs to be head down to be able to give natural birth, and that's part of her birth plan. So she told me last week that baby is head down, and she is ready to continue with her birth plan. I was super excited about that. And I don't just contribute it to me, but she's been seeing like prenatal massage and acupuncturist to help baby be in optimal position. So it really was a whole collaborative effort.
Oh, that's great. Great news for her coming into childbirth there. I'm sure that's a load off of her mind.
Yeah, absolutely. She was super excited, super happy. Her plan is to have a home birth, so
that's great.
That is part of her birth plan.
How cool is that to be a part of that, be able to help somebody like that?
It is.
Congrats on that. That's very
so
cool.
Happy.
That's very cool.
Yeah, but I have other great success stories too. I know with kids specifically, I've had a lot of kids lately with tongue ties, and so I get to help them with their healing journey if they get a tongue tie revision. But there's a lot of babies who come in with body tension from tongue ties and reflux and symptoms like that. So being able to help them and help them feel more comfortable in their own body, so they can relax and grow and eat and sleep and poop like babies are meant to do. So
that seems to, I think that's something that always surprises people about chiropractic care is just how, I mean, obviously everything's connected, but it's not just coming in here getting popped and things like that, right? Everything's neurological, and you're addressing a lot of things that people might not even consider that could be taken care of through chiropractic care, I would imagine.
Yeah, so that is a whole part of my analysis, is seeing where their nervous system is at, what baseline they're at, so then I can help them achieve optimal health, because our nervous system is the master control of the whole body. So when the nervous system is able to function optimally and free of stress, then our body is able to heal just as it was designed to do. So I would like to show you my nervous system scans and how I assess that here in the office.
Please.
So we have these Insight CLA nervous system scans, and this one is called the NeuroPulse. So this one tells me how much stress is built up in your body and what baseline you're at. Ultimately, we want our nervous system to be balanced. We want to be in the middle of our fight or flight and rest and digest parts of our nervous system.
Okay.
So this tells me if you're stuck in one side versus another. This one is our neurothermal. So this runs along your spine, and for babies, we scan different segments in their spine, and it tells me what nerve stress they have built up in their spine.
Oh, wow.
And if it's hotter in one area versus another. And then lastly, we have our NeuroCore. So this one has sensors on the front to detect muscular stress. So this tells me how much wound up energy is in your postural muscles and how much energy you're having to use just to sit upright. So all of these can be related to nervous system stress and any symptoms that may be going on. I like to look deeper than just pain. I look at, if you're having allergies or digestion issues, or if you're really fatigued or really stressed out. So yeah, I like to look at the whole realm of health. So I look at it from a physical, chemical, and emotional standpoint.
That is a lot of great information.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Dr. Brandi, thank you so much for your time today. This has been a blast getting to learn more about your business and check out your space here in Gallatin.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. It was great showing you guys around and teaching you a little bit about what I do.
Absolute pleasure. I want to make sure people know where they can find you if they're interested in some of your services.
Yeah, so I'm very active on social media. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Wild Bloom Chiro and Wild Bloom Chiropractic. My website is www.wildbloomchiro.com.
And we will tag that information down below, as they say in the videos here.
Yeah.
And I am Erik Thornton, your local realtor here in Gallatin with eXp Realty. I appreciate you guys tuning in to learn about another one of our awesome businesses here in Gallatin. If you could use any real estate services, I would love to help you out. And I can be found on Instagram at erik.thornton.realtor. I'd love to hear from you if there's anything I can do to help you. And until next time, take care.